Hello, I'm Robin Fitzgerald. I'm a pastor serving in the Yadkin Valley District. I serve in the grand town of East Bend and have Prospect and Mount Pleasant Methodist churches. So it's a 2-point charge. So I've been asked to share a little bit about the creative ministry that I do and what creative ministry looks like in a smaller congregation. In my case, I have 2 smaller congregations, and I just have to start out with the John Wesley squishy that Cokesbury had at annual conference. If y'all don't have one, you need to Google it and figure out how to get one because awesome. Anyways, I'm just going to share 5 different things that I've done here, mostly in this context, in the area of creative ministry. Sorry, I'm not great at doing videos, so it might be a little awkward. But anyways, so I'm going to share 5 things that I have done, 5 ways that I have incorporated creative ministry, and then I will try to just talk about creative ministry in general. So the first thing, I have a list here. The first thing that I wanted to share was a way to make your sermons more engaging, or if you're at a loss as to what to do for a particular sermon for a particular week. This does take planning ahead, so you can't really do it on the spur of the moment. But for instance, we have a cooperative worship service for Maundy Thursday, and it was my turn to preach this year, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with that. So I took that to a creative place by doing a monologue of Mary. I was Mary, the mother of Jesus, and did the monologue for the sermon. It can be very simple. I just wore black and wrapped a cloth around my head. So you don't have to get really elaborate unless you want to, with a costume or an outfit, but I'm sure most churches have some of those biblical type outfits. But I did that mostly because I enjoy that, but also because I've received such good feedback from doing monologues in the past. People just love them. They feel a good sense of connection with them. So my first idea is do a monologue. My second idea is connected to children's sermons. I used to think that I had to have something to give the kids every single week. And that's fine if that works for you, but for me, that was using so much brain power to come up with a new thing every week. So what I've decided to do is that on the high holy days, like the 4th Sunday of Advent, sometimes every Sunday in Advent, Easter Sunday, Pentecost, I try to do something to give the kids. So that makes it a little bit easier for me. And what I did this year, courtesy of Pinterest, and Pinterest is your best friend. If you don't know about it, you should get on there. Great resource. What I did this year was I made a set of resurrection rocks for each kid, and my daughters actually helped me paint these, so that was really fun. So you just go to the Dollar Tree and get a bag of river rocks or several bags and some paint and a paint pen, and that's all you need. So this one was for Palm Sunday, and this was Jesus in the tomb. I did those in the wrong order. Palm Sunday, Jesus on the cross, Jesus in the tomb, resurrection. So I just put these in a bag, one for each kid, and we talked about what they meant and let them take them home. Sometimes the simpler things the kids really connect with. Oops, there went my phone. Sometimes it's the simpler things that mean the most. So anyways, that's my second one. The third thing that I have done, I've not done in this appointment, but I've done it in small membership churches before. Pentecost Sunday is a fun time to do creative things, and what I've done is have a basket full of Red Hots or Fireballs or hot tamales or some sort of red spicy hot candy, where people pick up their bulletins and invite them to take some and connect that to your message in some way about the fire. So that's fun. The fourth thing, and I sort of borrowed this from an idea Marcia McPhee had with her worship series for Advent. Her series was Angels Among Us. And I think she was doing something similar to this. But here's what I did. I did a sermon series in Advent on angels, and specifically the angels connected to the Advent stories. And so I had a woman in my church who's very artistic take some like old refrigerator boxes, giant cardboard, and paint some colorful angel wings. I hung those on the back doors of the sanctuary so people saw those when they were going out. And then I invited people to take a selfie with them or take a picture with them and upload them to social media if they wanted to. I don't have a lot of people in my congregations that use social media, so not a lot of people did that option, but I think still involving a church member and letting them be a part of the creative process was really cool. And just having the visual there as they were leaving the church. So that was something I enjoyed. My last idea that I wanted to share with you, I just did this past week. I've started to take communion to my shut-ins, and in the past I've had that little kit that you can get from Cokesbury. I actually have 2 of them. It's a little metal box, and so many times I've had the grape juice rot in there because I forget that it's in there, and it's really just not very exciting to look at. So I came up with the idea of a communion basket. So what I did was find a interesting container to put the juice in. I do still have the little cups to, pour it in the cups to make it sanitary. But this really reminds me of my people here who a lot of them have farms or have had farms. So that was just a creative nod to them. I got some bright and interesting fabric to wrap the bread in. And then I added some of my crosses from my collection of crosses and just invited them to hold on to a cross while we went through our shortened version of communion. So that just made it more interesting for me, and I hope more interesting for the people that I was serving. So those are some ideas that I've had for creative ministry. What does creative ministry mean? I think it means offering people more opportunities to experience the living God and the living Word. We all have probably heard that there are different learning styles, and not everybody is an auditory learner. Some people need to touch to learn. Some people need to see to learn. So it's offering more of those opportunities. And why wouldn't we do that in the worship space as well? Ways that I have sort of snuck it in under the radar in small churches is that I don't really announce that I'm doing it. I don't say, hey, I'm going to do this new creative thing and it's going to be different, and then try to explain why that's okay. I either will do it and then talk about why I did it afterwards, or talk about why we're doing it with people sort of in casual conversation. Another thing I like to do is just add on top of. People don't like to have things changed, y'all know, or taken away, but if you add something on to it, like give somebody an additional thing, I'm going to also give you the opportunity to do this thing in response to the word. That sometimes makes it more accessible for people. What is theological about creative ministry? That was a question that I was asked to answer. Well, to me, it's very obvious that God is a creator. God makes and creates in so many ways throughout Scripture in the lives of so many people. And if we're paying attention, we will see how that is God being creative. God's created through His Word. God's creative through conversations. God's creative in so many ways. So if we're going to be people who help convey the living Word and the living God, if we're going to be people who help people experience the living God, then there's something that's sometimes missing, is that creative piece. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or email if you need some ideas. I'm always happy to come up with ideas. Hope it's going well, and thanks. Bye.